Well, hello everybody. We're back for another installment of how to become an MVP. This time I want to talk to you about who to follow. You know, there's a saying that success breeds success. And if you want to become successful in the role of being an MVP, in the contributions you make to the community, the first place to look, of course, is at people that are already successful in the space. So I'm going to break that down for you. Before we do, I want to thank Sergio from Monterrey in Mexico for this amazing shirt. It's a Dynamics 365 Saturday shirt that they had for the Monterrey event. Isn't it awesome? Thanks, Sergio. I'm going to put a link to you in the comments. Anyhow, before we get underway, not before we get underway, we're now underway, because I'm going to talk about who to follow. And the first thing I want you to consider in who to follow is existing MVPs. And you say, well, I follow MVPs already. But how are you following them? Are you following them passively, or are you following them in a way that is engaging? A way that draws out of them their thinking, their support, the way that they might be able to help you. So how do you do this? Well, first of all, go to forums. Look at what MVPs are responding in forums. For that matter, look at who the top forum responders are and engage with what they're saying in the forums. When I say engage, you know, giving a thumbs up and a like or a heart or anything like this, that's nice, but it actually means nothing in this world of communication. Real engagement comes about with a comment. So start with forums. Look at the forums of your favorite MVPs, and if they're commenting in there, add your voice to their comment. Go to the MVPs' blogs and look at what are they writing on. What's their writing style? What comes out in what they say and do? And then comment on their posts. If something appeals to you in it, grab that piece of text that appeals, put it in the comment, and tell them why you found that helpful, right? You will start to create visibility yourself, as well as creating engagement with those MVPs. Rather than always going to MVPs and asking them, how can I become an MVP? What do I need to do? Start engaging and adding value back to them so that naturally they'll want to engage with you. Look at their YouTube channels. Do they put up videos regularly? Do you go and comment on those videos? Do you create engagement? Do you highlight yourself to them? Because when they see your comment, they look at who you are and they're like, who is this? What are they up to? And they start to look at your profile and then understand what contributions and what value you're bringing. So think about YouTube and see if you're engaging rather than just thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever it might be. Think about engaging with a conversation. Next is LinkedIn. Do your favorite MVPs create content that gets posted on LinkedIn? Do you comment, engage? Do you comment? Do you share? Do you add your voice to their voice? In other words, it amplifies them, but it also amplifies you in the process. And the last thing, if you've done this over a while, then when you meet them at events, you'll be able to go, remember that comment I left on your post about XYZ, blah, blah, blah. You can create a much better connection as somebody that is engaging with them, creating conversations, growing the community by our collective voice. So think of this in 3 areas. I call it connect, learn, and share. So let me give you some examples. First of all, there's a guy called EY in London, and he's a specialist in all things Power Platform, Dynamics, that type of thing. And just about every time I post, he creates a comment on it. He comments that I always wear a unique shirt. Thanks, EY. I love that. He's on my radar. Now he's met me at events. We talk, we chat, we have a conversation. Should he want to become an MVP at some point, he's doing all the right things that start having other people in the community hear his voice. He's creating content, he's adding value, but he's also communicating or engaging in the conversation. Another one is a guy, and his handle is called the Z Power Driver, and he comes from Montreal, Canada. I think I have that right. Once again, he comments, he engages, whether it be on LinkedIn, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be on YouTube. He's engaging with the content. He's pulling out the bits that impact him and then giving that feedback. So, for example, he's done this on my content. I know, okay, I'm on point there, or I could drill into that, or perhaps I wasn't clear enough in that. But he's elevating his profile by engaging with another MVP. Now let's look at learn. Learn from their style. Learn from the various MVP styles. If you see an MVP that, let's say, podcasts really well, Joel Lindstrom comes to mind. If you look at Joel Lindstrom, he's been podcasting since day dot, in the Microsoft Business Applications community. If you feel that podcasting is one of those things that you want to learn and get into, go and read his blog posts. That's what I did. I read his blog posts on how to start a podcast in Microsoft Biz Apps over 2 years ago, and I learned from him. What microphones did he use? What other kit did he use? How did he go about doing it? I learned from his style, and then, if you like, develop my own style from that. Success, as I said before, breeds success. So look at what successful MVPs are doing. If you see an MVP that blogs well or creates amazing YouTube, excuse me, it's no harm in actually copying their style. You know, another person, the Bacon Bites comes to mind, Seth. And, you know, I started doing live stream. And because he was doing live stream, I'm like, I want to try this out. And I've started developing my own style. Me and Steve Mordu now have a live stream every Wednesday. And we develop our own style. So learn from the other MVP style and see how you can discover your own by learning from others. And the final one is share. Think about sharing their content. How can you amplify their message? If you have a Twitter account, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, anything like that, you should be looking at your own, original content to share ratio. So for example, on my Twitter account, I would do, let's say, I don't know, maybe 50% nowadays of shared content of other people's content, and then about 50% of my own. So I have a balance between what's my content being shared and then what I'm amplifying somebody else's. How can you be amplifying somebody else's content? It doesn't have to be MVPs. It could be other aspiring MVPs just like yourself. But what you will find very quickly as you create content, as you speak at events, as you engage in the community, you'll seek feedback, because if you want to improve, you want to get that feedback to understand how can I do what I do better. So think about, if you want people to engage with you, and I assume you do as you go along, think about how you're engaging with them and their content right now. I look forward to seeing you becoming an MVP real soon. If there's any questions that you have for me, ask them in the comments. If there's a topic you want me to cover around how to become an MVP, ask them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Have an awesome day. Bye.